There it goes, curving over to the right. Right, so that horrible shot that bends from left to right could be an absolute killer for your game. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about my 3 top tips to stop your slice. Now, to be fair, if you're a slicer of the ball, that first one that I showed, you're probably watching that and thinking, that was a pretty good shot. And if that's my slice, I'm probably not going to need to watch this video that you're doing. But chances are that's not your bad one, is it? It probably curves much more out to the right, you lose a lot of balls, and the ones that are playable probably don't seem to go anywhere. So before we get into the video completely though, guys, just want to take a quick second that if you're new down to my channel, welcome down to Ali Taylor Golf. If you're a returning viewer, as ever, welcome back. If while you're watching today's video though, you're enjoying it, and you don't currently subscribe, I'd love it if you click that subscribe button. Remember to ring the little bell icon as well, because then you'll find out whenever I drop a new video. But I know you can't wait any longer, so let's get on with my 3 top tips to stop your slice. Right, so like I said in the introduction there, 3 top tips to stop your slice. Now the beauty with the 3 top tips is you may only need one of them, you might need 2, or you might need all 3. But they're not actually as difficult as you might believe when you read and watch other things to actually implement. So I'm going to run through them one by one, and I'm going to talk about why I'm putting them in this particular position, help you get rid of that slice forever, and maybe even start drawing the ball. Because if you are somebody who slices it, or on a good day fades it, you might love to be able to get that shot shaping the other way. So first things first, the ball sets off close to the club face, and then the fact that the path is moving left of the club face makes the ball shape from left to right for a right-handed golfer. Now, the biggest challenge I see with most golfers is it's actually the lack of club face control through impact. So obviously if the ball is slicing to the right, that club face will be pointing right of the path. So when the club face is open, very often you see the golfer working more and more left, because it makes sense to the brain that if my club's pointing there when I'm straight, well, if I was swinging straight and it's setting off right and going, if I swing more this way, there's a chance for it to set off left and fade back. So don't beat yourself up if you've got that fade or that slice. It really does make sense to me why that would be the case. So the easiest way of changing that club face position and controlling that club face is to actually change our relationship of our hands relative to that club face. So if you're somebody who would have what you would consider a traditional grip, what I want you to do is I want you to move both hands that way on the club. So we're going to work round more. And I always say a great way of checking, particularly left hand, is when you've got that wrist joint supporting the club, that club face should be straight up. So you can see there, when I've got this hold now, that club face wants to close a little bit more. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, most golfers I will see potentially will have a very traditional grip, or maybe even a traditionally weak grip. So as they do that, that wrist joint will move in position to support the club. And when they hit normal shots, this is what will happen. And we can see that ball shaping over to the right. Not a huge amount of shape on that one with the 7-iron, but I am going to work up to driver. So let's try what we said there and see if we can change that club face delivery. So we're going to work that left hand more into the fingers, so more across, and that right hand fits in very much the same relative to the top hand, but now you can see that club face would want to be more closed. So if I just made the same swing or same movement that I've tried to make there, straight away we can see that ball actually curving from right to left. So I'm not saying you'll do it first time, and it might feel very different. I'm hoping it will feel different, because if it's not different, you've not changed anything. But the first tip is definitely change the way you hold the golf club relative that club face now is going to be in a stronger position. And it's amazing actually with a lot of golfers, they'll actually start changing their path over a few swings because now it makes sense that if the club face is pointing left, I can do the opposite. I can swing more that way. But that's going to move us into tip number 2. So the shot we've just hit after tip 1, set off left and drew. Now I think you can still play with that and not change your path, so to speak, with your golf swing. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to aim further to the right and align our body more to the right. We're still going to stay square, but we're just going to move everything round more to the right hand side. So then the path relative to the target, so the last one, the path was actually slightly from the inside, but we'd need to be even more if that was the case. So I'm going to take tip 1, get that grip right. So that's where I'd normally be aiming. I'm then going to move more around to the right with the club face and the body and then make my swing. So that one set off a little bit further right, still missed left. And those numbers are quite exaggerated, but if you're a slice with a golf ball, you won't mind that. So we could aim even further right as a result of that. And that one's setting off right of target, still missing target left, but we're starting to get more and more in play. So tip 1 was changing the club face control by altering your grip. Tip 2 was aiming more to the right and aligning your body more to the right. But I do understand golfers who maybe slice the ball might be a little bit uncomfortable with the aiming to the right because they worry that they still might do that. So you could actually change your ball position. And I'm going to hit one shot, my first shot, even though I've changed my grip. I'm not going to change my alignment. I'm going to aim straight on this one. But I'm going to hit from normal ball position, and then I'm going to change the ball position and talk why this can be a really simple way of changing it for tip 3. So I know the club face is stronger, so there's every chance my club face is going to be closed here. But we can see that club path 3.2 degrees out to in. Okay, so the change I would make, and I see this a lot with golfers, is that ball position there was quite a long way forward in my stance. And I think this is something that golfers just get a little bit confused with sometimes, that your club through the bottom of your swing is moving on an arc, and at some point on the way down, the club is traveling from the inside. It then travels straight and then travels back on the inside, which would be more of an out to in movement. So if the ball is too far forward in that arc, we're also then starting an out to in path when the club hits the golf ball. Now we can't do that, can we, if that club face is closed? So all I'm going to do is I probably had the ball there very much where I'd hit 3-wood. So I'm going to move it back to centre for a swing. And I'm even going to move it just slightly back of centre to see what a change it makes to my path. So let's put the ball more in the centre. And if you are somebody who plays the ball forward, this will feel a long way back. So I've got that slightly stronger hold. So we can see my club path there, 2.8 degrees from the inside, and the club face 3 degrees closed. Now that in itself for a lot of golfers is a revelation, that they can change that ball position, move it further back, and actually get swinging the club from the inside. So if I were to exaggerate that and move maybe an inch, inch and a half behind centre, we can see even more exaggerated with the club path, 6 degrees from the inside. But there we could see the club face was a little bit too closed. So you can see there, when we run through the 3 top tips, first one for me is controlling club face, because if you've got more control on the club face, I think the path can start changing itself anyway. But once you've got more control on the club face, the two possible ways, or you could combine them, of changing that swing path is then aiming more out to the right with the club, but aligning your body still parallel to that. So everything's running more from the inside. Or move that ball position slightly further back in the arc, and that will then make it easier for you to deliver the club from the inside without changing your swing at all. You're just changing the delivery of the club because the ball's in a different part of the arc. So I know what you're thinking. You're now thinking, well, that's great. You've done that with 7-iron. But what about driver? So let's put that into play. So when we've got driver in our hands, we're definitely going to use tip 1. Definitely going to strengthen that hold, get more control on that club face. If the ball's going to shape right to left, we definitely want to feel we aim a little bit more down the right and align our body accordingly a little bit more down the right. But what's that one thing that we always get told with driver? You know what it is? Move that ball position a long way forward to get us hitting up on the golf ball. But the negative to that one could be that as the club's moving up, it's working more left, so out to in. So let's move the ball a little bit further back towards the centre and just see. It might cost us a few yards on angle of attack, but what if we hit it out the middle of the golf club, draw it, get it landing, going forward when it lands, we just might pick up that extra distance anyway. So we're going to get that slightly stronger hold. We're going to aim and align slightly more down the right and get the ball position a little bit more towards the centre. And there it is, setting off down the right, just down that left side. And we can see there, that lovely little draw. And hopefully those 3 top tips have stopped your slice forever. Right then guys, so my 3 top tips there to stop that slice. Well, first of all, get better club face control. And I do think with the majority of golfers, it's the fact that the club face is open that leads to other issues in the delivery of the golf club. So if you get the club face right first, you're going to stop the ball shaping from left to right. Start it shaping from right to left, but then you need to be able to set the ball off further right than you've done. And that's where then either aligning and aiming more to the right and or moving that ball position a little bit further back is going to help you start setting the ball off right of target of where you want the ball to set off, and then drawing back towards the flag, the middle of the fairway, wherever it is you're trying to get the ball to finish. So guys, hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, like it and share it, comment below and I'll get back to as many people as I can. If you've enjoyed today's video and you don't currently subscribe, please consider clicking the button below. Remember to ring the notification bell, then you'll find out whenever I drop a new video. Follow me on all my social media platforms, all under Ali Taylor Golf. Hopefully catch up with some of you guys down here soon. Stay in contact.